Today, President Trump refuted comments made by Secretary of State Tillerson yesterday, in which he spoke about diplomatically looking for a resolution with the current situation in North Korea. Trump claimed that he told our wonderful Secretary of State to stop wasting his time trying to reason with Kim Jong Un, whom he referred to as Little Rocket Man. This is potentially the first time since Trump gave him that moniker that he's used little in front of it. Potentially, it will be used later on as time goes on, anyway. So, a few things to take away from this. The first being that this should really show a person the level of disconnect within this White House, because cabinet members are going to disagree with each other. It's the way of these offices. One side thinks this is the right thing to do. One side thinks this is wrong. It is what it is. But what's almost, I think, unprecedented is for those differences to be aired out so publicly, so non-discreetly, just in your face on the front lines. Oh, the rebuke of the Secretary of State's comments yesterday by the president today. Those are things I don't think you would have seen under Obama, Bush, Clinton, the older Bush, Reagan. You just go back in time. Um, Another kind of disturbing part of this, and I like to usually make comedy of this because it is funny. It is funny that we have a president who uses social media this often. We have one who is referring to another country's leader in that derogatory way. But let's make no mistake, there's no joke to be had by the potential use of weapons against the U.S. by North Korea. And especially at a time where we have a person in office who seemingly is going out of their way to ensure. I mean, at this point, the only thing Trump can do that's even worse is just attack first. And I like to believe that there's this thing in the back of his mind that's saying, don't do that, or there's someone in his cabinet telling him not to do that. Something is stopping him in terms of mental reasoning, whether it be someone else, himself. It there's got to be some force pulling him and saying, this is not a good idea, do not do this. That's the only way I can justify the current actions he's taken, where you keep using this rhetoric, but there's no. It's basically all bark and no bite, and I'll take all bark and no bite as long as there's no weapons involved, if it means no conflict from the standpoint of blood and various weapons or just tools of mass destruction being deployed in pursuit of winning some conflict that we didn't need. We don't need a conflict with North Korea, and people have been saying that for years now under these past administrations. But Trump did say something that I have to give him credit for. He mentioned that this had not worked in the past. This effort at trying to make nice with the leadership of North Korea. Well, in particular, he said Little Rocket Man, which confuses me because Little Rocket Man, as he calls him, didn't become the leader of North Korea, if I can remember correctly, until the latter part of Obama's first term. That was when his father passed away in 2011. So it does, again, Trump's comment is saying that Clinton and Bush also failed to negotiate with this man. This man wasn't in power when Clinton and Bush were in office. So I'm confused. But that's my opinion on the whole thing. I hope that the current leadership that we've been seeing with Democrats just doesn't persist. I hope they're able to capitalize on this nonsense. They probably won't. But I hope more than anything else we don't have a conflict with this country that actually goes further. I think both sides know where their strengths and weaknesses are, and I hope they're able to be scared enough of what could happen to not actually see anything happen. To essentially tuck your tail between your legs before you've even done anything yet. It's kind of the equivalent of a person who's never driven before getting behind the wheel of some vehicle they've stumbled across with the keys in there and saying, oh, I could drive, but I could also crash. I could also pass away. I could also be hurt in some extreme way. So that's what I hope happens, where they back out ahead of actually doing anything. That's wishful thinking. It'll save potentially millions of lives. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.